Welcome into episode 56 of the Hauger History Podcast on a beautiful Tuesday morning here in, I was going to say Southern California because I'm still used to it. I'm looking off camera at my 3 student contestants today. We're going to try the first edition of a quiz off. And we should have a better more creative name than quiz off. That sounds strange. It doesn't sound very exciting either. Let's start with what is exciting. We're studying feudalism, development of early modern times. In class, we've been going through a few notes. We're about midway through the unit or so, and we've been teasing some of the quiz questions along. So our students today, Nick, Anna, and Jack, are going to talk about some of their intended responses and what they think the answers are, and we'll talk our way through getting you ready for your next quiz or test wherever you're listening from. One thing leads to another, and I don't know any of the lyrics of that song except that title, but in the same way I can think of how dangerous and uncertain the world must have been after the fall of the Roman Empire. We spent a lot of 6th grade talking about the fall of the Roman Empire, and who would have known what would come next? Where would you find your next meal? Where would you live? How would you live your days? All of those questions come up, and where would you find a place to rest your head? So I have Anna, Jack, and Nick here to talk about some early questions of medieval Europe. Play along at home, comment in the section if we get something wrong, and let's begin. Number 1, folks and friends, what belongs in the empty box here on the screen where the top is Fall of Rome, the middle is blank, and the bottom is the rise of feudalism. So what happened? It's a multiple choice between when Rome falls and when feudalism starts. Is it A, food and clothing, B, religion and politics, C, rights and freedom, or D, disorder and danger?
D.
Oh, excuse me. I need a buzz-in name.
Jack.
All right, Jack, what is it?
D.
It is D. It is disorder and danger. As we talked about, Rome had controlled, for better or worse, a large part of the entire world. So when that fell, all of these people were trying to find a system to replace it. There was no government, there was no food, there was no clothing. So that disorder and danger is the period that made people come to castles so that they could get that support. Remember that from class discussions? Great. This awkward me talking off screen. Believe me, there are people here. Number 2, that'd be so weird if students started watching and this teacher pretends he's not talking to himself. At least for the first 55 episodes, I was talking to myself. So anyway, it's an improvement. Number 2, in the Middle Ages, most Europeans were living A, under Roman control, B, pledged to a feudal lord, C, under Greek control, or D, living in monasteries.
Jack.
I'm gonna go with Nick.
It was B, pledged to
Feudal lord.
Feudal
Good.
lord.
Nice and loud, so we make sure we pick you up on mic. That's true. So this was the replacing of the Roman Empire by people that had castles and could shelter people and could protect people from dying. We talked about how chaotic it was that we believe on the open roads of the Roman highways after they fell. It was pretty crazy. So people needed to find shelter, and they pledged to a feudal lord. We're going to skip the next question. What's significant about Charlemagne? Why is Charlemagne most remembered? Is it A, he made war against England, B, he united much of Europe, C, he became the first Christian ruler, or D, he taught his people to write?
Jack. Got it.
What do you got, Jack?
Wait. Can you repeat the answer, please? Because I had
I'm
it.
going to the next person.
Oh no,
Anna.
no. Oh, C.
Anna.
C. It was C.
It was B.
What is B, he united much of Europe?
Well,
Take that. And a big way that he did it was because he was the first Christian ruler. This is one of those questions that you dislike your teacher if he doesn't give you an answer that seems partially correct.
Trying to.
So I would accept B or C because Charlemagne was the one who turned the tides for Christianity. He endorsed it, and then he even criticized people. So that was huge. And as doing so, you're right there, Jack. We need some antidote for whatever poison Anna gave
Totally
Jack
didn't
before
say
the game
that.
started. And that he did unite much of Europe because of the Christian Empire would unify people in many different nations. Wow, it's getting contentious, and we're only on the second question, you guys. Very cool. Number 6 or so. I'm just going to jump around here. A king gave most of his important lords fiefs. What was a fief? Was it a grant of land? Was it a large celebration? Was it a war horse or a market license?
Jack.
Wow. So a minute ago, I told
he
him
just,
to get a little louder.
Nick just blocked out all of
I
our
can't see the
voices.
audio waves. I'm sure we peaked it out there. I'm going to give it to you. What's the answer?
It's a piece of land.
It is a piece of land. So a fief is the parcel of land in which they would settle on. So great job there. And please, try not to destroy each other when we're doing these. All right, there's a little picture here. I'm going to take a screenshot. Remember how we take screenshots? How do we do it?
We do the
Shift,
4.
Command, and 4.
No, I thought it was
And I'm going to
Command
highlight here. And I'm going to save that screenshot so people can see this in the video. There's 2 pictures here. There's one on the left, one on the right. One is offering protection, and in exchange, the other one is offering loyalty. So who are the people in this picture? Is it A, lord and vassal, B, peasant and serf, C, merchant and squire, or D, villager and priest? Nick, who is it?
It's Lord and Vassal.
It is lord and vassal, and I'm impressed because Nick has the most difficult angle. He's trying to see the screen behind the screen. So I'm kind of extra impressed with Nick right there.
And
Yeah, and if you think, let's talk vocabulary for just a minute. A peasant and serf, those are interchangeable words. Those mean the same thing, so it's not that. A merchant and squire, that'd be like an apprentice and someone who sells things. That isn't a conversation of protection and loyalty. Villager and priest also wouldn't be talking about protection and loyalty. You like that one, Nick? Nick loves a good joke. All right, nice. Let's go to another question. You guys are doing great. Very pleased, very proud. Oh, so impressed. Number 9. I wonder how many students are watching. All right, guys, focus. I know, students are watching, so I hope they're benefiting from this.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah, social class in the Middle Ages, what was it determined by? Was it determined by birth, wealth, religion, or education?
Oh my god. And he's like,
You know, I want to thank Shore for donating the microphones. If Nick breaks one, I'm going to have to call them back for another one.
Jack.
I'm going to give this one to Jack. Jack, what do you have?
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with. God, I always forget what the answer is. No, I haven't answered yet.
Go ahead, try it, Jack.
Okay. Oh yeah.
By the way, we're playing for gummy bunnies, so that's why they're getting so amped up over here.
Copyright.
Answer? I said gummy bunnies. I said generic. This could be any gummy bunny in the whole world.
Can you repeat the answers, please?
What's the answer?
B, wealth.
B, wealth. I'm going to give you the bunny. We're going to talk about it. But, Jack, what would you have said? He's pacing the room.
Well,
I
know what I would have said.
What would you have said?
It's birth.
Have a seat. So it's a little bit of both. If you were born poor, were you really going to have a lot of opportunity in medieval Europe to advance? No. So I would give you birth if you explained it. Wealth, though, kind of makes the most sense because if you were wealthy, then that was
a house, and then you did land.
boom. It definitely determined what social ranks you could move up to. All right, we're going to the next question. Just a reminder: when you buzz in with your name, have an answer. All right, let's keep going though. You guys are doing great. I'm still so proud. Oh, I should be quiet. Who's gonna read the question if I'm quiet? Yeah, exactly. All right. What do these medieval items have in common? A stone wall, a castle moat, like the stream.
Yeah, I know what a moat is. I'm obsessed with castles.
You're obsessed with castles?
I have a book about them.
We're gonna. I have a book about dogs. I'm not obsessed with dogs.
Yeah. I am. I'm actually obsessed with the Middle Ages.
Stonewall, castle moat, knight's armor. Is it A, they describe parts of a church's architecture? Nick loves jokes. B, they describe features of a manor house. C, they describe forms of military technology. Or D, they describe structures of medieval. Jack, what's the answer?
It's either C or D.
I gotta ask it to be less screamy in here.
It's either C or D because they're both military technologies and kind of like medieval structures.
Very nice. Good identification there that you had 2 elements of truth in 2 of those answers.
I actually
Great job.
remembered the
Are you
answers.
okay, Anna? Did that scream destroy your eardrums? I don't want any injury. I did not expect to have injuries during a game show. Can I? I don't know. Hey, get off mic with your shoes. My goodness. Let's wrap this up. Let's just do a couple more. Let's jump down to the written response. Okay. What's the question I was going to ask you? That's right. What were the lives of, you know what? We aren't even that far yet. So one more question, all right? I don't even know. Have we kept score?
No,
we haven't. We just got
I have the most, though.
I think I've had
Oh
2.
my gosh. Okay.
Wait, I have a question.
Suppose a knight is known for his chivalry. What does this suggest about him? He fought with great skill. He owned a famous manor. He traveled to many countries, or he followed a code of behavior.
Jack
waited until I finished the question, and again did not scream. So, Jack.
I'm gonna say A.
It's not A.
Or B. Sorry, B.
Anna?
I meant B.
I'm going to say
She's
C.
gonna say. She's wrong.
Not C. Nick.
It's a code of honor.
It's a code of honor.
Oh.
Code of behavior. Nice.
Okay.
Well,
I
students,
thought I
it
meant
seems
that
like we've got a bit more work to do in our studies, and I'm sure you do as well. If you have questions for us specific to the unit or about any particular parts of the lesson, you can send them below in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes or on YouTube, and we'll see you on the next edition as we study more history. This is a note paper, irregardless of history. This podcast is now history. We'll see you later. Thank you, contestants.
Thank you.
Okay, they enjoyed the game.